represented here, another 120 or so on the phone. Butch and Suni, have you been surprised by the continuing?
Whom do you hold responsible for everything that happened? Thanks.
That is a question that I cannot answer in a couple of comments, but I'll start with me. There were some issues, of course, that happened with Starliner. There were some issues, of course, that happened that prevented us from returning on Starliner. And I'll start with me. There were questions that I, as the commander of the spacecraft, that I should have asked, and I did not. At the time, I didn't know I needed to. And maybe you could call that hindsight, but I'll start and point the finger and I'll blame me. I could have asked some questions, and the answers to those questions could have turned the tide. So blame, that's a term, I don't like that term, but certainly there's responsibility throughout all the programs, and certainly you can start with me. Responsibility with Boeing? Yes. Responsibility with NASA? Yes. All the way up and down the chain. We all are responsible. We all own this.
After all these months, I mean, it's been almost, 7 months since Starliner landed, that they still haven't resolved all these.
I think we all have alluded to it. There's lessons learned. And that's like a piece of hope, right? We're not just sitting here doing the same thing over and over again. And we're learning from every mistake potentially, or maybe a decision that we've made and how we could make that better and do better the next time. When we go to the moon, we won't have an International Space Station to maybe take a stop at. We really have to get it right. And because of our mission, I think that highlighted some areas where maybe we need to work on and get it right for our fellow astronauts. I think they're encouraged by that, right? You learn and you move on and you get better. And I think that's part of the learning process. It's part of the exploration process.
I mean, we are scheduled on Wednesday to meet with Boeing leadership, the program managers, senior chief engineers, to discuss some of these issues. They want to come together with us, Suni and myself, because we lived through this with them, and get on board with what the future looks like. And having flight crew with background in test and acquisition involved in the processes going forward to make sure that we're dotting every I and crossing every T. But still, that doesn't mean that you're guaranteed success in anything. Like we've said many times, this is a tough business.
In Needham, they've been watching this
Sox.
bit by bit, every moment. Yeah, everybody at the elementary school, there was a big watch party.
Heard some stuff from our friends and family that people were interested and wondering what was going on and concerned about our health and all that kind of stuff while we were up there. But, I mean, we were just part of the team doing the job, filling in wherever we could, and then knowing that there's rotational flights and we will be coming home eventually on a rotational flight. So, no, I don't think we were aware to the degree. Pretty honored and humbled by the fact of when we came home, like, wow, there are a lot of people who are interested, very thankful, very amazed that we could hopefully be one positive element to bring people together.
When we're up there operating in space, you don't feel the politics, you don't feel any of that. It's focused strictly on mission. And you know, if I step back a little bit to the question before, Butch and Suni talk up here, they make it sound like, everybody figured out what they could do with us. The reality is they are highly skilled, very technically competent, and it took everything I had on every day to keep up with them as they're moving along. So they were more than just gap fillers on the station. They were productive, pushing the station mission forward. And Suni was the station commander, so she was calling the shots. So you get in that environment, that operational environment, the politics, they don't make it up there.
Yeah, it's, again, an honor that actually people were paying attention. And I'm very thankful that people are paying attention. And, sometimes good news, bad news, it's just news, and it's good for space exploration, and that's what we're all about. Our mission, of course, building and working on the International Space Station was just awesome, and we all had the opportunity to do that. But we also have bigger goals of exploring our solar system, going back to the moon, going on to Mars. And to get people understanding that it is hard, it is difficult, and what we do up there is really awesome. And I think at least that we had a little bit of that came with the interest in this mission. And if we can perpetuate that and tell people a little bit more and have the opportunity, the forum to do that, I'm very thankful for that.
Re-entered the Earth's atmosphere and came back to gravity. Can you talk specifically about any kind of weird either sensations or experiences that you've had dealing with that over the...
Yes, I would say it was difficult. It wasn't in the preparation, but in my family, we talk about these possibilities. We discussed all of this. We never said we were going to be gone for 9 months, but it turned out that way. But the discussions we had, and it's not just discussions prior to the mission launch. This is the way we've trained our daughters from the time they were born, because their dad isn't a unique occupation, right? This is not the norm leaving the planet, and they understand that. I'm not as young as I used to be, but I was stronger on space station doing more weight and more reps on exercises than I have in my entire life, because this group of professionals work to get us stronger and stronger and stronger. We're trying to minimize muscle atrophy, minimize our bone loss. So if we go to other planets, the moon and other planets in the foreseeable future, that we will be able to function when we get there. It's a whole science built around this team of individuals that are working to help us better understand human physiology and what zero gravity does to it, and how we can mitigate the effects of the bone loss and the muscle atrophy.
So yeah, it's an adjustment when we get back, and they're here right with us from day one when we landed, ready to evaluate us and see how we're doing, and then work on a protocol to get us back. And like I said, I sneakily went for a run yesterday, but that's all as a result of their hard work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wanted to hug my husband and hug my dogs. And I'll say that in that order. But maybe not. No, I'm just joking. But of course, food, something that's just like for home for me, like something that is very, reminds you of home. And my father was a vegetarian, so I had a good grilled cheese sandwich when I got home.
Long history of being active and athletes, but with that being...
Well, I'm back. First and foremost, we were always coming back, and I think people need to know that. And we're back to actually, share our story with so many people, because, like you all mentioned, it's slightly unique, and there's some lessons learned to it, and part of that is just resilience and being able to take a turn that was unexpected and make the best of it. And I think that is the biggest thing that I want to pass down, particularly to kids who think that their life should be the straight arrow to what you want to do, and you're just going to get there. Well, sometimes it takes some turns, some rights and some lefts, and you just keep focused on your goal, and other doors might be open for you. So I think that's the biggest message.